Okay, so today we're going to take a look at Scurry. This is pretty much a cornerstone of Historic now. It's a deck that revolves around getting a Scurry and a Heliod out with a some sort of Soul Sisters type effect in order to gain life when something enters the battlefield. So if you haven't seen it before, which would be kind of surprising since this is a very popular deck, Scurry makes a token every time you put a 1/1 counter on it, and then that will trigger one of these Soul Sisters effects to gain you a life, which Heliod makes you put a counter onto something. So you can basically put counters onto Scurry repeatedly until you have a wide enough board and a tall enough Scurry, and then you just go ahead and terminate the loop by having your Heliod target like your Soul Warden or something, and then you just kill your opponent. This deck is really strong for a number of reasons. There are a lot of these Soul Sister type effects in Soul Warden, Lunarch Veteran, and Ajani's Welcome. And then you basically pay those out with things like Trelasara or Voices of the Blessed, and you basically have that as a backup to your combo. This version of the deck is running 3 Skyclave Apparitions, as opposed to sometimes people will run the Portable Holes in the 1-drop slot. Kind of just depends on the meta. I think right now you could do either. There are decks that are going to make us struggle, and those decks are going to be things that have big problem permanents, and we would like to deal with those. Generally, with the small aggro decks, I'm hoping that we are going to be able to go under them and gain enough life that they can't kill us. That's the bet that I'm making here with this deck today. You can kind of make your own decisions regarding your removal. So other than Heliod and Scurry, we do have a one of Ajani's Strength of the Pride. This is kind of just a late game answer to a crowded board state where we can basically exile our opponent's board if we have a bunch of life, which, with this life gain deck, it's pretty likely that we're going to have that. And then in order to get a bunch of cards onto the battlefield, we can vomit them out with a Collected Company. Kind of standard for these low CMC decks with CMC 3 or less creatures. So that is pretty good. Almost everything can be hit with Collected Company, so we are expecting to have 2 hits every time we cast one of these things. The mana base is a little bit optimized by this point in the game. People have been playing this deck for quite a while. Pretty much every land here is capable of producing white, with the notable exception of a Boseiju. So basically we can almost all the time have a 1-drop opening. So that is kind of good deck building practice as players have refined this deck over time. And here I am picking it up, and we'll bring it into some Historic here to see if we can win some games with it. Real quick, I've been appreciating all you guys' support lately. If you are not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel for more videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you are already subscribed, you can show support by dropping a like on the video. With that out of the way, let's hop into some games and see if we can combo out our opponents. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We are in round 1. Let's see what this hand is like. This is not super good. Our opponent has mulligan, so I think we will too. We don't really have anything to make use of our life gain, so we want something else. This is a little better. I think I could play Lunarch Veteran, Ajani's Lunarch Scurry Collected Company. We do need to find a green mana source here. So maybe I put back the Scurry and we just find it later. We're kind of hedging on Collected Company here to find us what we need. We do actually get back the Scurry. Cool. Notably, the Soul Sister type effects that we have right now only trigger on our creatures. We kind of want to find a Soul Warden as soon as possible because elf decks are going to be barfing out a bunch of creatures, and we are going to want to be able to respond to that. So here we can get a double Lunarch Veteran in. Our opponent has almost 6 mana next turn, so things are going to start to get dangerous for us real quickly. They're going to get even more dangerous if we don't find our green lands here. Let's play it out and see what happens. Elvish Warmaster makes sense. Our opponent is going to have 4 mana still. Furious Prefect. Okay. Opponent's board is getting big and scary. And we do find the Temple Guard. And I'm going to have to pay 2 life here. So I will, unfortunately, not be able to put a counter onto anything. And our opponent says they don't want to be here anymore. Wow, that's pretty impressive. We might not have died this turn. Yeah, we definitely, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could have activated a War Master. that wouldn't have done too much there. We would have taken 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, 10, 14 right now. Then we would have Ardenveiled and Collected Companied and possibly comboed them out there. So I guess opponent is potentially not wrong to scoop there, but I think they should have played out a bit more. I didn't think that we had won the game yet. Anyway, that was a round 1. Let's hop into round 2. Here we go. All right, here we go. Round 2. We do like to see this a little more. The only problem is the 1 lander. I'm not sure we can keep this one. I mean, we do have a bunch of things to play. You know what? I'm going to be risky. If we find just 1 white mana source, we are looking pretty. Play out in a Johnny's Welcome. And yeah, if we can just draw a untapped white source, we feel really good right now. Alright. That's unfortunately not it. We are drawing all the Johnny's Welcomes. Look at us go. If our opponent just doesn't play any creatures, then we just can set up for an absolute monster life gain session. Seek New Knowledge. This is not Belcher, since we do see some basic lands here. Or just lands in general. We don't get to see what they have in here. This could be like, is it Control or something like that. We do find our second land. That's huge. So let's get Johnny's Welcome out and then a Soul Warden. Opponent seems to have some sort of counterspell type game here. Oh no, it's just some instant speed. Seek New Knowledges. Okay. And we will get our Soul Warden out. So there's a lot of life gain there. Next turn, I'm probably playing a Voice of the Blessed for sure. Okay, we want to kind of bait out all of this damage-based removal so that we can land a Voice of the Blessed while they're tapped out. So this basically means that they need to hold their hand, and we can kind of slow roll these Soul Wardens onto the battlefield. And then when they tap out, I'll just drop a Voice of the Blessed. Hopefully they kill it. Well, if they end up killing it, then I can hopefully follow up the next turn with a secondary Voice of the Blessed, and we should be good from there. We've seen just 1 burn spell so far. I am probably just going to play out a Soul Warden here. Just get some lands. Or get some life, I mean. We are not a Righteous Valkyrie deck. Some of these life gain decks do like to play Righteous Valkyrie. Ooh, they tapped out for big score. Well, okay, so now they have access to more red mana. They were previously just limited by the 1 mountain that they had. So I think if I can get another land here, I can just do a Heliod play. And then make a turn where I try to either grow a Soul Warden or a Voice of the Blessed. I just kind of need to wait and make them waste their removal. That's kind of the big thing. And then as soon as we can get to a Collected Company, then I can start playing at instant speed. Okay, so I think we lose Soul Warden here. It looks like they have another burn spell. This is the second Fiery Impulse. That's fine. We have the Johnny's Welcomes. We actually don't really need the Soul Wardens, and especially because our opponent doesn't seem to be playing any creatures themselves, this is okay. They are down to 4 cards in hand. I think if their whole deck is going to be at instant speed, then... Oh, they might not have had a burn spell there. This Seek New Knowledge might have been trying to find one. Interesting. I could rationalize trying to get a voice out right now. It would grow to be a 5/5. I mean, they're down to 3 cards in hand. This might be the time that I just have to try for it. And seeing that I didn't draw a land, that makes sense. There is the voice. So did they correctly play around this? Seems like they did. Oh, they're resolving stuff. Ooh, okay. Maybe we're going to be okay. So now this Voice of the Blessed will be a 2-for-1 for them. We'd love to see it. The next Voice of the Blessed that I cast will be will make this thing flying. And we just need to try to get this thing up to being a indestructible thing. Indomitable Creativity. Are we dead? It looks like we're dead. Oh, and this is the Grizzlebaron Quasar deck. I played this deck a couple of weeks ago, I think. This is a pretty cool one. So we actually lose at instant speed here because our opponent can activate Grizzlebrand, and the active paying 7 life will allow them to deal 7 damage via Quasar. And because it drains, they regain the 7 life that they need in order to reactivate Grizzlebrand. Alright. This one's a very fun deck. This is based off of the Reed Duke's Is It Creativity deck. That was a deck that was trying to get out a 15-15 double strike trample, I think. Basically, in any format where you have a good 2-card combo such as this one, you can play this deck, and it's pretty powerful. And then this just happens to be the historic version. So I think I'm going to save my opponent some time here and just concede so they don't have to keep clicking. I've played this deck, and I know how hard it can be, how annoying it can be. So anyway, that was our round 2. We kind of got close there ourselves. I think we were kind of playing a more fair game with the Voice of the Blessed, but it's okay. So we just played round 2. We got a round 3 coming up. Here we go. All right, round 3, let's get it. Well, this is pretty good. We got Soul Warden into a Voice of the Blessed. I can even delay it by a turn and get a second Soul Warden out. See what our opponent's on. We are on the play, which is even better. Ooh, this is green, white, possibly a mirror. I'm going to try to get the biggest Voice of the Blessed that I can. If this is a mirror, we may need to use our Skyclave Apparitions early or try to get a Heliod out quick. Soul Warden, that is huge. So I'm thinking that we probably just get out a Voice of the Blessed right now. This means that our Voice of the Blessed will always be the biggest, since we have more Soul Wardens than they do. I will offer a trade, I guess. They decided not to take it. That's good. I want to keep their life total a bit lower than mine if possible. The bigger the distance that I can create, the better. Now, if I find a land here, I would love to do a Heliod play. Okay, so now we're even on Soul Wardens. Luckily, this makes our voice much bigger. And now they're going to have to deal with this. They have their own voice. That's going to grow ours even bigger. Let's go. Alright. So, a Skyclave here is great because now I can kill their thing. And we might just be able to end this one now. So I'm going to target their Voice of the Blessed. Their voice is going to get bigger. Ours is going to get even bigger. And we are looking pretty solid. Now, the life gain is the only thing that we need to fight. But the opponent agrees. I think we can do it. Alright, well, that was a quick mirror match there. I think we pretty much just had first mover's advantage. We essentially played the same hand. It's just that's what happens when your voice gets out before theirs does. Alright, we did it. That was round 3. Here we go on to round 4. Let's go. Alright, round 4. Here we go. So we got double life gain. And then we got some Skyclaves and a Scurry Oak. I don't feel super hot about this hand, but it's like a fine hand, especially if I draw third mana source. I'm going to be a bit greedy and go for something else. I'll try it. The Trellisara is very good. Okay, and it is a mirror match here. Let's go ahead and drop out in a Johnny's Welcome. This at least doesn't trigger their Soul Warden. If they follow up with their Voice of the Blessed, then I'm going to be in trouble. Okay, it's just another Soul Warden. And do they only have 1 land? Ooh, so they must have a pretty good next couple of turns lined up for me. I think that having the Skyclave is going to be huge. I think that I for sure want to play a Trellisara. Start scrying here, start finding my removal, look for my own Voice of the Blessed. Another Trellisara. It's decent. It's for sure decent. I'll take it. So we have a Skyclave if they decide to play their other guy. They do not. And we're currently losing the life gain battle right now, which is tough. I will play this in tapped. We will... oh, right. Trellisar is legendary. So that's a mistake and a good learning moment there. You don't get to have 2 Trellisars on the battlefield like you can have Voice of the Blessed. I will swing in here. See if they'd like to triple block. They do not. And we're going to have to start speeding up here because our opponent is on 1 land, and we want to keep them on 1 land. We have to kill Speaker of the Heavens in this turn with Skyclave Apparition. Boseiju does get to come out. I would almost like to just start going with a value play of an Ajani. Unfortunately, my Trelasara doesn't match their Speaker and Soul Warden life gain thing. Like, I mean, if I play anything, they regain the 3 life that I would have done with Trelasara. So I think regardless, I still have to do a Skyclave Apparition on their Speaker, sadly. They get to go to 27 life, but we will at least get to bring them down a bit. We already have 4 mana, so I want to look for actual action here. This can come out as a land, and we'll swing in for 4, bringing them down to 23. Now their attacks don't look very good, which is convenient. And yeah, we're getting really lucky with their life gain situation here. Let's put in a land here. I can Collected Company or Ajani. I think I'm going to Ajani minus first. This is going to gain them some life, but it's going to also gain us some life, which is important. I will scry away a land. And next turn, we're going to do some Collected Company type action. I will offer them a trade here, and now that we're dealing a bit more life than they can heal, things are starting to look good. This is... okay. They don't have a 2-drop? What is happening here? That's crazy. So we can just go ahead and gain some life with the Johnny. That is huge. Soul Warden is huge. We are going to be able to get that out with Collected Company, so I will just go ahead and swing in with everything. Wait for blockers. If they decide to not block, then we are just going out here. So we want to look for a Soul Warden and potentially something else. Scurry Oak is good, but I think I just want the 2 Soul Sisters here right now. Everyone goes up in terms of life, and then they go down in terms of life a bit more. We get to click through all these triggers. That's a lot of fun. We need to be able to auto-yield on MTGA. That would be nice. That's a feature that comes to us from MTG Online. It would be nice to see that at some point. Let's go ahead and continue. Sure. Heliod, that is now good. We do want to see a Heliod. And now we're looking pretty solid here. I'll leave that Heliod on top. They're looking at 18 damage. 20 damage, in fact. And, alright. Let's go ahead and pass turn. They gotta have a huge turn here, but I think we're gonna have them. Lunarch Veteran, short. All of the triggers happen. Keep that. And they're going to pass through. They can technically stay alive. But I should be able to get them with Heliod. So cast Heliod, up to Kajani. Resolve. Alright, so we're going to grow our small guys. Don't need an Ajani's Welcome here, and we just kind of need to finish out here. A Scurry Oak is now a one-hit kill. Leave that on top. And cool, we'll go ahead and gain some life. And it's 15 life, so I need to get to 35. So now I can kill them, and they're not going to let me click all the way through this. Thank you, opponent. Alright, so that was our turn 4. We kind of got going with our Selesnya enchantments, though it was against an opponent that was land screwed, so... it is what it is. I think even though they have their 2 mana, I expected them to be able to play more. So if I had to guess, this is probably the Angel life gain version of this deck with a bunch of Resplendent Angels and Righteous Valkyries in hand. Unfortunately, you can't really take one-landers here in online. Anyway, round 5 is coming up here. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Final round coming up. We have Warden and Voice of the Blessed, and then Trelasaras can start going to work too. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm hoping... Okay, I was about to say that I was hoping that we wouldn't land screw ourselves like the last opponent did. Looks like we are not going to be. That's huge. Ooh, so they foretell what has to be a Doomscar. So in order to sort of play around that, I will run with a Trellisara here. We get a Lunarch Veteran back. I think that's pretty good because then they wipe me and then I can Lunarch plus Voice. Maybe just do a Lunarch plus Trellisara because I want to keep the Voice of the Blessed out until we can amass a good board state. They decide that that's okay. I will keep that there. And they must... Okay, so that is their third land. So they didn't have it until now. A Gonjo. Let's drop that out. We can Heliod. Yeah, let's do a Heliod. This kind of just sets it up. If they wipe the board next turn, I don't feel too bad. Oh, Fatal Push. I was not expecting a Fatal Push. Well, we will pass out of this, and then I'm probably just playing a backup Trellisara next turn. Opponent can decide what they want to do here. This turns into a Menace thing. Okay. Alright, so that may or may not have been a Doomscar. I kind of want to match up for this Okiba, sorry. Once that flips, then I probably want to commit to the board. So I'm thinking that I drop a green source here. Do I really want to do that? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll do true green source so we have access to 2 green if we need it. We'll put in a Trellisara so that Healy can make Soul Warden bigger. Then I do get my Scry to go find something. A Johnny is good. Johnny's actually very good. So we'll keep that. And then let's go ahead and go in here. We'll swing. And then after they declare blockers, I'm going to give Soul Warden lifelink. And we get to grow our stuff. That's huge. We'll make Soul Warden a bit bigger. Leave that there. And now our opponent has to deal with this stuff. And then we do have a Collected Company or something like that to... deal with the board wipe that is inevitably coming. I think they probably do cast their board wipe now to get Okiba going. I will block. That is very indicative of a board wipe in the making. Oh, it's an Agonjo play. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so if that's going to be what happens, then I'm going to a Johnny so we can start getting some value out of here. They can kill Soul Warden. Ooh, okay, sure. You got it. We will make a 2/2. And now that Mizumi is out, I'm going to start committing to the board. Sure. Yeah, okay, so they've committed to the board quite a bit. Now I'm very happy to play into a board wipe. So Archon's going to kill Johnny next turn. Can I gain enough life here? I can Collected Company into a bunch of stuff. I can actually Collected Company into a win. I can. Oh, let's try this. Oh, we found Scurry Oak. Amazing. Oh, that is just awesome. We're going to take Archon of Sun's Grace. And we are going to take action here. And, oh, unfortunately I did need the Lunarch Veteran out. So what I will do then is probably just gain some life. This is good. We can Scurry Oak. Alright, and then we get to attack in with these guys. I don't need the Ajani's Pridemate to win, so forcing a single or 2-for-1 with the Pridemate is great. Alright, cool. And I assume they wipe the board here. That would be unfortunate. But I think it's going to happen. Has to be a board wipe, right? Exile? Everything? Meat hook? Okay, that makes sense. That's actually pretty good. That kills Heliod. Alright, so they do get a 4/4 back. That's okay. What I think we'll do here is then we can play Actually, not all of these things. That's unfortunate. Lunarch Veteran then. Voice of the Blessed. Alright. And then we will go ahead and make another Ajani. I will eventually try to win with this Ajani, I think. We can get a Boseiju out just for extra mana. And I think I'm probably okay to trade here, or maybe chump with the Pridemate. Block here. I want to keep my Voice of the Blessed around for sure. Do they wipe the board? There's the Doomscar. Okay. Alright, so we do get a Lunarch Veteran out, I guess. It's not super good, though. Rebecca, Hokiba. I always read that backwards. Okay, so let's see how to play this here. I can gain some life here. This Ajani's Welcome is going to be huge. We will play Voice of the Blessed. And I think I will just gain some life. We only need 5 more life gain here in order to win. Okay, a little bit more than that since we're taking damage with these things. Our opponent's low on cards, so hopefully, we are going to be able to get around it here. Soul Warden, that's huge. I can go down to 1 on a Ajani. Lunarch Veteran can chump block. We are pretty close to winning with a Ajani. So I'd be at 34. You know what I can do? If I create another one of these, this gets me to 35, or to 34 rather. Vigilance 9/9 feels good. They're probably going to want to block that. They say no. So if they attack here, what I'm going to do is just chump block with Luminous Phantom. And then hopefully be able to kill them on the following turn. They've given me the life anyway, so this is fine. And I think we have them here. We can exile their board. Voice of the Blessed now is indestructible and gets around a big Meat Hook Massacre, so that's great. I think we have them here. Yeah, so we can go ahead and just activate our Ajani, wipe their board, say goodbye to all that stuff, and we get to swing in for the win. Alright, -20. Well, we finished in style there. That was 5 games already. This was our Selesnya Scurry Oak combo. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the full Scurry Oak combo this game. I missed it by 1 earlier, but I'm sure you've seen it in ranked. It is a very good deck, and you know, I kind of wanted to show you guys the reality of games. You're not comboing every time, but this deck has a lot of other ways to win. Which include just beating your opponent in the face with a big Voice of the Blessed. So that was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think this is probably one of the more worth it to craft decks that I've shown. This has always just been pretty good, pretty well supported, and I don't think Soul Sisters is going away anytime soon in Historic. If you guys like the video, please drop a like. It helps me out a bunch. And if you're watching the video and you're not subscribed, I hope that you would consider subscribing. We post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think about 1/8 of my viewers are subscribed by this point. So this is somewhat of a milestone, but at the same time, I think we can do better. So that's all from me, all the ads out of the way. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.